Hola a todos y bienvenidos. Welcome to a new episode of Español en 3 minutos. In this episode, we're going to talk about levantar versus levantarse. Now, we've received several requests to talk about the difference between reflexive and non-reflexive verbs. So that's what we'll do today. So let's get started. Vamos. Now, as I mentioned in my video on verbs like gustar, we can't easily classify a verb as either a normal verb or a verb like gustar or a reflexive verb. Some verbs behave in all three ways, and often there will be a subtle shift in meaning. Now, with levantar, we will often find it in either normal or reflexive forms, where levantar means to lift, and levantarse, the reflexive form, means to get up, either from bed or from sitting or maybe after falling. Okay, so let's look at some examples. I cannot lift the table because it's too heavy. No puedo levantar la mesa porque es demasiado pesada. No puedo levantar la mesa porque es demasiado pesada. Now imagine you were taking a photo or you were doing a painting of someone. You might want to say, hey, can you just lift up a bit? Yeah, that's it. This in Spanish would be, puedes levantar un poquito. Eso. Puedes levantar un poquito. Eso. Now, what you have to do is file a complaint with the police. Lo que tienes que hacer tú es levantar una demanda en la policía. Lo que tienes que hacer tú es levantar una demanda en la policía.
Lo que tienes que hacer tú es levantar una demanda en la policía.
Now, if you want to understand why we use lo que in this last example, check out our video on that. I'll leave a link up here. So when we say levantar algo, we are either lifting something or raising something. Then we move to the reflexive form, levantarse. Now we say me levanto, which is literally I lift myself. Or te levantas, literally you lift yourself. But because of this subtle shift in meaning, we now say me levanto is I get up, and te levantas is you get up. So for example, when are you going to get up tomorrow? ¿Cuándo vas a levantarte mañana? Cuando vas a levantarte mañana. Now we could also put the te before the vas. So we could also ask, ¿Cuándo te vas a levantar mañana? ¿Cuándo te vas a levantar mañana? Another example, we have to get up in 2 hours. Nos tenemos que levantar en 2 horas. Nos tenemos que levantar en 2 horas.
Nos tenemos que levantar en 2 horas.
Next example, I get up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning to do exercise. Me levanto todos los días a las 5 de la mañana para hacer ejercicio. And if this was with an accent from Spain, me levanto todos los días a las 5 de la mañana para hacer ejercicio.
Me levanto todos los días a las 5 de la mañana para hacer ejercicio.
Okay, let's practice. I don't want to get up. How do we say this in Spanish? No quiero levantarme. No quiero levantarme. Or we could also say, no me quiero levantar. No me quiero levantar. You have to raise your hand if you need help. How do we say this in Spanish? Tienes que levantar la mano si necesitas ayuda. Tienes que levantar la mano si necesitas ayuda. Okay, bonus tip. Even with this distinction between, say, lifting and getting up, there is still some overlap between the reflexive and non-reflexive forms of this verb. For example, I'm going to get you up at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. This in Spanish would be, te voy a levantar mañana a las 7. Te voy a levantar mañana a las 7. Now, with this, it is literally, I'm going to lift you, right? And this is the non-reflexive form, but the meaning of getting up in the morning still stands. So context matters a lot here. Now, we could also say, I'm going to lift you up. That way you can see the show. Te voy a levantar, así puedes ver el espectáculo. Te voy a levantar, así puedes ver el espectáculo. So it isn't necessarily that levantar is only used for lifting and levantarse is only used for getting up. Context will also cause this shift in meaning as well. Okay, if you enjoyed this lesson, please like, subscribe, and share, maybe with someone that is struggling with reflexive verbs, and then leave any questions you have in the comment section below. Until next time, habla mejor, entiende más.